Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and it is quite often within this industry that we see fan Q&As go horribly wrong for developers. It has for Blizzard in the past, and we all remember the hero we didn't ask for but absolutely needed.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
But it appears Blizzard has stepped into a great steaming pile once again with Diablo IV, again through the use of a fan Q&A. But this time, it may well not be Blizzard that created the mess, but rather the YouTube channel who set up the Q&A and posted the video, and seemingly did so utilizing fake social media accounts as a springboard to ask their own questions posing as everyday people. And that would be the YouTube channel Future Games Show. A Future Games Show, or FGS, is a YouTube channel with just shy of 8,000 subscribers at the time I am recording this video. Roughly a week ago, this tiny channel somehow managed to rope an interview with Blizzard's Associate Game Director Joseph Pipora and Art Director John Mueller. A Future Games Show was understandably excited at the prospect of this and posted on Twitter, along with their YouTube community channel, the statement, "We're sitting down with Diablo IV developers next week to answer community questions. Reply with your questions for the devs." Which at the time the Q&A video went live, that post on Twitter had received 0 responses. That post also makes 2 separate and distinct claims. The first is that this YouTube channel would be sitting down with the developers, which implies a face-to-face interview. The second is that it would be your questions, as in the community. However, it would appear that neither of those assertions were accurate. So let's go through the questions asked during the Q&A video, and more importantly, who asked them? Now, in this Q&A, a fair number of questions were asked. The first was Twitter user Gryeth, who asked the question, "Would this game be a good entry point for newcomers to the series? I've got a lot of noob friends I want to bring in. What do they need to know about previous entries in the series?" However, when we go and check out the Twitter user Gryeth, who does actually exist, we do find something rather interesting right off the bat. Gryeth's bio says he is a video producer at PC Gamer and plays horror games at FGS, which is Future Games Show. And Gryeth was kind enough to retweet Future Games Show's posting of the video stating the following. "My first video for Future Games Show technically went out today. Diablo IV Community questions. I'm not in the final edit, keep an eye out in the future, but it was a great time going out to speak with some of the devs for a game I'm looking forward to." And even though he says he is not in the final edit, which I'm guessing the video Future Games Show posted wasn't the final version from that, he's still quite literally the first question, and he is part of Future Games Show, so not a community question at all. But he did say that he had a great time going out to speak with the devs, which tells us that this is being purported as an in-person interview, or at least sit-down, which is an odd statement to make as the 2 Blizzard developers are the ones reading the questions. The second question was from simply Steven on Discord, and there's no way to verify who this Steven is due to how vague that was posted as, who asked the question, "Diablo IV has a much more realistic and detailed visual style than the more painting-inspired 3. How does the affect how the game is designed?" Some bad writing there. "Does this darker look and tone mean you need to change the approach to enemy environments or even UI and UX design?" Which is a fair question, but sounds a bit like a journalist to me. And the next question was from Twitter user @EmmaRocks, spelled with a Z, who allegedly asked, "The cutscenes in D4 are gorgeous. How important was it to get these as high quality as they are in the game?" But there's a little bit of a problem with this account. The EmmaRocks Twitter account joined Twitter in February 2010, has 1 follower, and only made a single post, which was also from February 2010, which simply states, "Hey, I love Justin Bieber." So, despite this person's quite obviously horrendous taste in music, they most definitely did not ask the question his Future Games Show claims. The next question is merely a JD from YouTube, which as we have no way of verifying this account, we'll simply move on to the next. The next one we have Twitter user Cryptid Scruff, who asked the question, "Are D4 devs considering the idea of adding a loot filter like Path of Exile in Last Epic? I recently started playing the latter until D4 comes out, and I'm impressed with how the loot filter works and how customizable it is." And Cryptid Scruff is indeed an actual Twitter account that is active and has existed since 2009. However, it was discovered that Cryptid Scruff and Gryeth are the same person using two different accounts, as you can see here via this image. And when we go to Gryeth's Twitter page, we do find that image posted May 25th at 2:31 p.m. Pacific time. However, since those images have been floating around, when you go to the Twitter link for Cryptid's Twitter account, Twitter gives you a message that the post was deleted, which seems to be Gryeth's way of trying to hide his alt account. And remember, Gryeth is the person that made the video, so definitely not a community question being asked there. The next question is from Tom the Bomb from YouTube, where I cannot verify the existence of this question or the user yet again, so we're skipping that one. And then we have Matt from YouTube, who asked, if all I care about is looking like a badass, which class should I play? Now, this one is quite likely the only legitimate question asked within this entire video, as it was posited as a question 3 weeks ago on Future Games Show's YouTube community post asking for community questions in preparation for this Q&A. Next, we have Jamie D from Twitter, who asked, adding mounts to the game is an exciting step. What was the thought process behind that? Now, the Twitter user Jamie D does exist, except their account is protected. So I find this being a legitimate question by a legitimate user to be highly suspect, especially considering the Future Games Show's Twitter posting asking for questions had received 0 replies at the time their Q&A video went live. The next question was posted by Emolent1997 from Reddit, who asked, in Diablo 3, it felt like characters from past seasons were a bit underpowered to play once new ones came along. Will D4 give incentive to play old normal mode characters once seasons come along? And while the Emolent1997 account does exist, the account was created on May 26, which is after the Q&A video going live, and it's actually a rather amusing story as to how and why that account came into being. And when researching material for this video, I came across the YouTuber and Twitch streamer Quinn69, who was going through a lot of this information live. And during that live stream, one of his viewers created the account to troll Quinn69 in real time.
Right combination of items, you made all the best choices.
Is that your best build? Is that your most fun build?
Is that the best build? Exactly, or in the most fun build. You squeaked every ounce of power out of the things you've done. All the right rolls and everything that you have.
They would find something, right?
That's really more of the focus that we have.
One post. Read it for 1 minute. Wait, this could be a post and fucking snipe this. Someone made the account to try and fucking put something on here. Oh wait, some chatter just made it just now, so that's why it exists now. Because I was like, wait, did we get it wrong? What are you gonna post, dude? I don't trust it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't trust this at all. Like, oh, what the fuck is this, dude? Oh, okay, bro.
So the question did indeed originate from an account that, at the time, did not even exist. The next was a question from Twitter user SaysDC2, which this is the exact same thing as the last one, where one of Quinn69's viewers, probably the same one, created the account to troll him during his live stream.
Are people making these accounts now? Really, dude? Really? They're making fucking... They've made accounts. They're making fucking... Well, they're real now, boys.
And again, that account did not even exist to have ever even asked the question posed to the Blizzard developers to begin with. The next question is from a Reddit user named Heistmeister, whose account was created 118 days ago on September 28th, and has posted nothing on Reddit. So yet another fake question there. And we have yet another Quinn69 troll, where the Diablo IV Q&A shows the question from the YouTube user Rose from Movies 11. Where the Quinn69 troll struck again, created the previously non-existent account, and has re-uploaded Quinn69's YouTube video discussing this to the account. Next, we have a Twitter user, but this time no Twitter handle, instead simply Rob from the block, which I have to hand it to Quinn69's troll. You, good sir or madam, are quick on the draw here, as this person created yet another Twitter account beating Quinn69 to where Quinn69 would find it when he searched for the username.
Rob from the block on Twitter. Whilst the older game...
They're not even trying. You can't have fucking spaces in a Twitter account. They're literally not even trying anymore. Like, fucking Rob from the block. Fucking Rob. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Twitter. Rob from the block. Okay. Hey, he watched the bit. He skipped it. He skipped ahead in the video and found the next fake account, and then he got it. Fake account. Hashtag 42069 from the Future Games Show. Oh my God.
And finally, we have Suspicious Trainer 82 from Reddit, which is indeed a legitimate account, seems to veritably live on Reddit, posting a great number of times each day, and has confirmed on Reddit that they did indeed ask the question, how do I cure the post-server slam blues? However, I can't find where this person asked the question, as it wasn't on Future Games Show's Twitter or YouTube community post, and they did not post a video asking for community questions, merely in those two areas. The closest I could find was a Diablo IV subreddit discussion post asking, anyone else feeling the after server slam blues? So either I missed it because I'm still rusty, or this was a rephrase from that post and used as a community question. And that is quite literally all. So from what we can account for is 14 total questions for the Diablo IV Community Questions Q&A, where only 2 of those appear to have come from actual people. The remaining 12 very much appear to have come from Future Games Show themselves. However, the Future Games Show staff and even their YouTube page shows that they sat down with the Diablo IV developers. However, that itself may well be a bit of sensationalism with no basis in fact. Joseph Pipora retweeted the Future Games Show's video announcement stating, "This was a fun format, just answering fan questions off a tablet. Thanks for setting this up." And given that room the 2 developers are sitting in, which is a space Blizzard has for recording content and they've used it in the past, it is starting to seem infinitely more likely that Future Games Show simply emailed them the questions and had them send the recorded footage back for editing. A minor nitpick, to be sure, but it does strike as potential false advertising on the part of Future Games Show. And of course, it doesn't end there, because what is a little controversy without the offenders attempting a little revisionist history? Now, as was stated numerous times, this was supposed to be a community Q&A, except Future Games Show simply didn't get any questions, which is odd for reasons I'll get to in a moment. Now, when you look at the Future Games Show YouTube video description, it shows the following. We sat down with Diablo IV developers, Associate Game Director Joseph Pipora and Art Director John Mueller, and asked them a bunch of questions, sourced from the FGS editorial team and the Diablo IV community. Find out what they had to say about the Diablo IV betas, Season Pass, Battle Pass, and planned expansions in this video. Some of the usernames in the video have been altered for anonymity at the request of the user, which on its face is definitely not a lie. We did indeed have 2 of the 14 questions which were actually legitimate. The rest came from Future Games Show themselves, but the term sourced from the FGS team and the Diablo IV community certainly isn't a lie on its face, it's merely a lie of omission. But unfortunately...
You told the truth up to a point. But a lie of omission is still a lie.
They also stated that some of the usernames were altered at the request of the user for reasons of anonymity, which I'm quite certain that this was done by Josh Lloyd, aka Gryeth, who was the creator of this video. So naturally, Josh would wish to hide the fact that the questions actually came from him. So yet another lie of omission. It is also worth noting that when I referred to this segment as being revisionist history, it is due to the fact that the description of this video used to be a little different. When it first went live, it had neither the disclaimer about the questions being from the community and the editor, nor did it have the disclaimer about altering usernames. A From Wayback Machine on May 25th, which was archived mere hours after the video premiered, it was simply a statement that they were asking your questions, which of course they weren't. They then later updated the description to obfuscate the fact that they were lying to people by adding the disclaimer about alteration of usernames, as is evidenced by Wayback Machine from May 27th. And then it was again later updated once word started getting around that they had faked the community portion of their Q&A video, and these were, with the exception of 2, all questions asked by the editor. It is also worth noting that Future Games Show is not a small YouTuber with less than 10,000 subscribers, although that is how they appear at face value. As I saw several people asking how such a small channel could gain access to Blizzard developers for a Diablo IV Q&A. Well, that is due to the fact that this is a digital showcase channel for GamesRadar. GamesRadar is a large games journal website whose main Twitter account has over 1 million followers. It does announce that fact on the Future Games Show Twitter bio and is also confirmed by GamesRadar via Dan Dawkins' article about Future Games Show 2023. So this isn't a simple case of a small YouTuber lying and sensationalizing for clout. This is a case of a large games journalism site lying to you, the viewer. And it also appears that while Future Games Show may have been able to use GamesRadar's connections to gain access to Blizzard, they apparently did not gain access to GamesRadar's reach to obtain legitimate community questions for their community Q&A. Large or small, what this small arm of GamesRadar did was directly lie to their viewers about the community Q&A. And we are seeing Blizzard catching some grief over this. Now let me be clear, I hold no love for Activision Blizzard. I have blissfully uninstalled all games I had of theirs a few years ago and haven't touched one since, to the point where I am on the fence for even wanting to give them money for Diablo IV, owing to the fact that the list of things to criticize Blizzard for is longer than my arm. But in this case, I do not think it would be appropriate to blame Blizzard for the lie that this video is. No, the blame goes to Josh Lloyd, aka Gryeth, aka Cryptid Scruff, and Future Games Show itself, as well as GamesRadar. No one should ever lie to their audience. Future Games Show has nearly double their subscribers off of that one video alone, but that video is a lie. Not for the information contained within by the game developers, but because Josh Lloyd was too much of a coward to admit the truth because he must have thought that community Q&A sounded more likely to get views than simply Q&A with Diablo IV devs, which would already be popular in its own right. In all honesty, it's pathetic. Even obtaining the number of subscribers that they do have, it is obvious to me that by lying to their viewers, they have no respect whatsoever for their viewers, which is never a good sign for any channel regardless of size. To amass any kind of following on YouTube is because of those viewers, and it fills me with disgust whenever I see any channel treat those that would lift them up in such a deplorable manner. So I would ask you all, don't go targeting anyone for hate or harassment, but spread awareness of their actions, of the actions of GamesRadar, Future Games Show, and Josh Lloyd, so that more people can know that this is a channel that absolutely cannot be trusted with anything approaching journalism. Because if you can lie about something like this, where they could have just been upfront and said, we had a Q&A with the Diablo IV developers, it's that easy. No, it's definitely no stretch of imagination to assume that you would lie about whatever suits your fancy if you would lie about something as simple as that. Absolutely repugnant. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.